So I am with her, and she's like everything to me. I mean, Lzzy means so much to me, not only as an artist, but as a friend. She's a Grammy winner. She's a Gibson guitar ambassador. She's had at least, I mean, I lost count at like 13 or something, top 10 rock singles on the Billboard charts. She's collaborates with everybody, regardless of format. She's an amazing front woman. She is doing our Rock the Park show this year at the PNC Bank Arts Center, which I'm super excited about. And I'll tell you, before we get rolling, I just thought, today how inspired I felt when we did Rock the Park a couple years ago. And it was Halestorm, The Pretty Reckless, Lil Czar, The Warning. And it was the first, I'm so grateful that I was at WDHA to see the first female fronted hard rock
Yes.
tour where all the bands had a lady out front. And that was just a beautiful moment for me. So Lzzy Hale, it is
Oh, I'm
always
so
amazing to
glad.
see you.
It's so always great to see you too. And I'm just so happy to catch up. And I'm so glad we're coming back. And it's just been a crazy whirlwind of a couple lifetimes since we last hung out. And so we gotta, but that's the beautiful thing about you though, is that I don't I can't there was never a time from the very beginning of us starting touring and getting to know you that we can't just pick right up where we left off.
I feel the
It
same
just feels
way.
that way, and those things are so rare. Those people are so rare in your lives, and it's just wonderful to experience that with you over and over again.
I am always so happy to see you and always so happy to be able and grateful to get some time with you because you are such a busy lady,
Oh
whether
yeah.
you're writing or touring or collaborating with somebody. So let's first talk about Rock the Park 2024. It's
Woo.
Hailstorm, it's I Prevail, it's Hollywood Undead, and it's Fit for a King. This is
Oh
such
yes.
a fun, heavy, amazing bill. I am so excited about the show. It's Friday, July 26th at the PNC Bank Arts Center. Tell me how this tour came together.
Well, this is it's such a different tour than anyone that we've ever really embarked in, because it's not just, hey, we're going to get a bunch of people together and we're all going to do our sets and put on a show. There's this beautiful sense of community, and this beautiful sense of the fact that we are both equally hosts to the party. So how do we do it together? So to take it further, we've actually been we've been collaborating together on a song, actually a couple songs together, that we're actually planning on performing together, doing a lot of things, just kind of being the committee and the sanctuary for our fans. It's so funny too, because we actually, on the more childish note, we all stalk our super fans and the people that talk about us. So we've been like, so I'm talking to all you people that are watching right now. You know who you are, and I've been like, oh, I can't wait for your people to meet my people. Oh man, he's gonna love her, and all the
That's
like
great.
we're like matchmaking already with our communal, like with our collective fans. And so it's just going to be great. And we just love everybody on it. They're all such great guys, and we admire each other, for all of our strengths and the things that we can bring to the table. So it's just going to be one of those that I think that, not to like bring it back to like really old days, but there was a DVD that I got in the 90s, that was from the 70s. It was called Festival Express, and it was Janis Joplin, the band, Jimi Hendrix, multitude of other people, and they were all on a train together. And they would stop the train, build the stage, and the people would come, and then they would pack it all up and go. But they were all like doing things with each other. It wasn't just like everybody just having their own little world that they're trying to be in competition with each other with. So it's very cool, and I'm excited for everyone to just kind of feel that. We're in the business of smiles, so we're going to try to bring a little bit of that.
Well, you've always been community. I mean, there's always been a great rock community around Hailstorm
Oh
with the
yeah.
fans, with the other bands. I've seen you guys backstage. I've seen you with bands that you're touring with. There's just that sense of just of a family. And I think that's what rock and roll is about. I never want that to get lost on us because I
Yeah.
think during COVID time, that's the thing that people missed the most about that
Yes.
family and that community of getting people together. And I don't want us to get lost at all with that.
Yeah,
So I love that you're saying that. I love that you're doing that. And I love that these fan bases are going to come together, because I think it's all about the rock. And I
it,
just think
it,
it's a
it is.
perfect package tour, just an amazing package tour. You got these young bands, Hollywood Undead, a little more known, Fit for a King. I can't wait to
Mhm.
see them. I've heard great things about them, and everybody always says how nice they are. Everybody's like, oh, they're one of
Yeah.
the nicest bands in rock and roll too. So really, really looking forward to having them on the bill as well. But this is just going to be an awesome party. Ticketmaster.com to get
Woo.
your tickets. All right, so let's also touch on the fact that I know you guys have been working on new material as
Oh,
well, and
yeah.
this has been going on for a while, but you just get busy doing other things. So where are we in the Halestorm journey with new
We're,
music?
we're taking our time with it, and we're writing a lot. We're doing our record with Dave Cobb, of all people, which is a new flavor for us. So we kind of needed to shake it up, and I don't know, like, just coming from a personal level, I'm in a really good place in my life. I'm writing some of the best songs I've ever written, and this album for me, and again, this is before I'm even like discussing our collective MO as a band and what we want everything to sound like. But for me, the songs that I'm writing, this is going to be the Hailstorm album that kind of peels back the onion a little bit.
Ooh.
I'm in a spot where I'm okay with giving myself permission to be open, and the fans have taught me a lot about that over the last album cycle with Back from the Dead. The difference between Back from the Dead and this one being Back from the Dead, I was kind of, that entire record for me was kind of a pep talk to be like, girl, you still got this. I don't know what's going on. And it took, I think, the entire of that album cycle for me to actually settle into the point. It all kind of boiled down to this conversation I had with fans when we were in Europe, and we were on a 7-week tour. So we always go through like this messy middle. Everybody does after you get, like, anybody. You want to know some folklore of being on a tour? 4 weeks is enough. 7 weeks, everyone starts going a little crazy, because by the month mark, everyone's like, we call it the messy middle. Everyone's just kind of tired, and there's no real end in sight, and we've all been living 2 feet from each other. Someone's being annoying, someone's being a little bitch. That, it happens. And I was going through my own war in my head about whatever's coming next, and this album cycle is kind of ending. I don't know where I'm at. I haven't written a new song in a while. Very, like, letting a lot of my disparaging thoughts get to me. And so here are our super fans, my ladies in shining armor that are, they call themselves the Lizzie Birds in Europe, and it's a group of like 11 women, give or take, that just come to every single show, every single meet and greet, front and center, without fail. They're there for the show. So during this messy middle, they're like, hey, started to ask me like, hey, are you doing okay? Like the show was great, but like there's something behind your eyes that we can't see, and feels like you don't have to tell us anything, but like, we're there for you, kind of thing. So I go through my normal bullshit in my brain. I'm like, oh, I'm just tired. It's tour and I'm going through stuff. And then the next day at the meet and greet, they all hand me these handwritten letters. And I'm paraphrasing for all of them, but each in their own way basically was saying, hey, here's a list of reasons why we follow you. Here's what you've done for us.
Wow.
It's okay if you're not okay, and you don't have to be the savior. If you want to cancel some shows, we will understand. Whatever you're going through, we're going to be there for you no matter what, because you were there. It like really affected me. I was like in the
Wow. It's
dressing
affecting
I'm in the
me. Yeah.
dressing
I
room,
like feel choked up. That's
right?
crazy.
I was in the dressing room reading through all these, just like crying my eyes out. And I immediately the next day, because we had another show, it was like a 3 in a row thing. It's like next day, tired, at the end of the show, I kind of held court with all of them next to the buses. And I'm just like, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on in my life, and this and this and this. And I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm scared that I'm failing you and all of this, and just like let it out with them. And I realized something in that moment, and this is something I don't know if any of you people listening are front people or the spearhead of your operation. Sometimes it can feel really like you're an island and you're not even in the front seat of your life, and you're just kind of white knuckling it through. And what I realized is that instead of me being the strong person in that moment, I got more out of it, and more trust, more admiration, more connection with these fans of mine that have seen me through a lot of things. But than I could have just by keeping the veil up and being the strong person. I got more from it by opening myself up and being honest. And so I've taken all of those feelings and I am putting them now into this new music and working through them because they have allowed me to. My army that has been with me through every battle has given me permission to say, hey, if you got to work through this, and we're going to be with you no matter what. That feeling of unconditional love, from from strangers that don't know, that don't haven't didn't know you from before, that
And
don't
didn't
know
know what
your
was going
issues,
on, and didn't know what was
on.
going on, but inherently felt something was
Yes.
happening.
And that was the connection. And then we're able to take that then past the handshake, past that I can put down the crown for a second and just be real with you guys. And then what ended up happening after that is that then you have these conversations now, new conversations with the fans, not just about your touring or your vocal prowess or whatever lyric. It's now about, oh, so you're just as screwed up as I am, but you've also made it to the other side. So it gives the bridge for hope. Just it makes it a little shorter. It gives it a little bit of, gas to get through. And it's just sorry, I'm like blowing through analogies, but it was just really, it affected me in a really positive way. And I'm very much looking forward to the song that you guys helped me start. I am now ready to finish for you. And so it's going to be this beautiful, like, pass of the torch a little bit. Anyway, that's how it's kind of working out in my mind. But again, best laid plans. But we're excited for new music, and we're excited to then, I'm sure there'll be some things that I'll end up sneaking in on this next tour because I can't wait to play new music for everybody.
Yay.
So for all of those that keep up with all the little tiny moments that go on in the set, keep your eyes and ears peeled because it could be a new song. But yeah, it's like between that and then the Skid Row stuff coming up, it's just
let's talk about that.
Big storm of
this is pretty amazing. And I want to talk about how it came to be. I mean, because look, we're Jersey here. We're from Jersey. Skid Row's our band. I told you kind of off the record, I came up with those guys in the club, so I've known them forever. And had Dave Sabo Snake was on this with me not too long ago, and we talk about our fun Jersey memories and all the crazy things we did as in the clubs, as kids. And you came from a place of just being a fan. You knew the guys, but you have always been, as a young teen, a Skid Row fan. Why? Yes. And then how did you get the call to say, hey, would you be interested in doing 4 shows? There's 4 shows that begin on May 17th, 18th, 31st, and then on June 1st out in Sacramento. That's going to be the final show. But this is so incredibly cool. Skid Row and Lzzy Hale. That's how it's being billed. So talk to me about how this whole thing came to be.
Well, I mean, first I'll give a statement for the beginning because it's just goes so much deeper for me than just helping out some friends. But like I'm from PA. I know all about you Jersey boys, and I know like we talk a lot about lifting up women and that being and that's been very important in my life. But I can't forget about the men who raised me and them being the Skid Row boys inadvertently by my friends from Jersey who were like, listen to Skid Row because, I was always kind of an in-betweener in my interest in music. So in the 90s, in like 96, right? It was Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey, Backstreet Boys, Britney was about to come out, that whole thing. I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in 80s big hair, rock and metal. I loved Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, Cinderella, Journey, Skid Row. And as that transition happened in the 90s, where all of a sudden I started getting into heavier music, a lot of the bands, except for a very small group of bands, helped me with that transition. And Skid Row was one of them because they were not so in their 80s bubble and in the time that came before that they couldn't see what was happening in the world. And they couldn't see what the dark-seated underbelly that we were all feeling that we were all feeling in the 90s. So they really helped bridge that gap for me and were I mean, I can honestly tell you right now that I would not be the rocker that I am today without Skid Row and those albums, because not only did they have those beautiful melodies and the vocal prowess and the riffs and the loud noise that I loved, but then the subject matter they were talking about was always very real, and it hit me at the right time in the right place. And so this is just a beautiful, example of that. Age doesn't matter, time doesn't matter. Whenever you discover music, it doesn't matter. It's when it hits you, and when those, and so again, those men that raised me, the men from Jersey, the men from PA that all put these records in my hands. Then years later, right, I'm living in Nashville for the first time, and I meet Rachel Bolan and I meet Snake, and they're like, oh man, there's more to Nashville than country. Let me introduce you to this guy. Then I got to meet Tom Kiefer from Cinderella and all those boys, and I now I'm up, playing stuff, Aerosmith songs with all these weird guys that I grew up listening to. Then fast forward to a couple months ago when my good buddy Rachel, we're just at a birthday party, and Rachel's like, hey, would you ever consider singing with us? And I'm like, oh yeah, you mean like we do all the time down at Mercy Lounge? She's like, no, you like actually be like our front person for some shows. There's some stuff going on. And so I said, well, yeah, sure, just let me know when, and then, a couple months later, he goes, hey, were you serious about that? Because this is going down now and we got to know. And so I cleared my schedule and I told everybody that is on my team, like, let me, put apart these days because I really want to do this for these guys. Right. And so it's all like this, like I'm like helping my buddies out and they're helping me out, and it's all full circle. But then we announced it, and I'm hearing from people I haven't heard from in 15 years saying, oh my God, this is going to save my life. And we're bringing these two worlds together. It's giving everybody reason to smile, and an event for someone to look forward to. And like generational gaps be damned, and it's just all going to be great. And it's just wonderful. So yeah, for me, I mean, I joked with the boys. I said, "Oh, so my audition tape from '96 finally made it
I
in the
saw
mail."
that on your
I
socials.
was
I thought
joking
that
about
was
with them,
amazing.
like thanks for
Amazing.
finally opening up. My revised audition is in the mail as we
I
speak.
love that. I
But
love that.
yeah, so now I have it like all their songs on a playlist in the order of how they're doing their set, and I'm on the stationary bike trying to make sure I can hit the high notes, and like I'm treating it like it's an Olympic sport. It's going to be great.
Well, my emails start blowing up because everybody's like, is there going to be a Jersey date? Can you find out if there's a Jersey date? And I'm like telling listeners, I'm like, guys, it's 4
I know.
shows, so everybody was just so excited. We need a Jersey date. We need a date in Jersey, so the
Yeah.
the WDHA listeners and how they love you. I mean,
Oh yeah.
they are just, you are our person, it's like, we're like
You're so
doggies
sweet.
and you are our human, like
Oh,
everybody just loves Lzzy in Jersey.
that's so
You've
adorable.
got that just great, amazing fan base where, people still tell me that the tour that you were here 2 years ago was like the best tour that they ever saw. And I
Oh, I'm
hear
so
from
glad.
mothers and fathers who brought their daughters and their kids and stuff. So that was like epic. So yeah, everybody wants more dates, which is fantastic because you always want to leave
You
people
never know.
wanting more than,
Well,
so you
I
never know.
I will say something that most likely will happen is that these will not be the only 4 dates you ever hear. I will say that. As far as me being the permanent member of Skid Row, we're gonna all have to find a plateau in our in our schedules to do that. But you never
Yeah.
know. Sounds like a pretty good, good gig for me, if I ever get to that point. But yeah, I'm just so grateful for the guys. And then like think about it coming full circle, and like it all comes from the right place. I mean, I mean Eric, what an amazing voice, and what a perfect fit for them, and brought them, into a whole new game changer. There's everything going on with his health, and here, how wonderful is it that amicably both parties can be like, hey, we're looking out for each other, man. Like, hey, I can't give you what you need, and also, hey, us as a band, we can't give you what you need to look after for yourself. So hey, let's do that, and hey, let's bring in our buddy Lzzy. I'm helping out my buddies. Everybody's doing it for the right reasons, and so it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, the guys have had to cancel, a multitude of shows for a multitude of different reasons. So this
Yeah.
is really nice that these 4 can still be in the pocket for them and they can get this tour done, and you're coming out, and I think it's just going to be fantastic. And I think I love the buzz because I feel like they really deserve it. You know,
I
they've
think
got a
so
solid
too.
last record and they really, really deserve it. You know, we played a couple of songs, including Time Bomb from that record. And
Mm.
they really deserve it. And I love that this tour is going to get a lot of attention. And I think it's just going to be absolutely epic. So
I agree. I agree. I can't wait. And I can't wait to see you, and I can't wait to rock out with all of our Jersey people. It's been far too long. And I'm, yeah, I'm looking forward to a full guest list of babysitting some people that I haven't seen in a long time.
we are
You
going
know
to
who
have a
you are.
blast. We are going to
Yeah,
have fun.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
I can't wait to see you. Hopefully it won't be quite as hot as and you're so great too. It was like at 8 million degrees
Oh
and
yeah.
Lizzy's like trekking over to the WDHA table. It's like 1,000 degrees. Everybody's like dripping wet,
Or just
but you're
sweating.
always so great. You're never like the person to be like, no, I can't. It's too hot or anything.
Well,
You are just always awesome to hang out with.
it's
So I
it's
can't thank you enough for that.
it's about doing it, girl, and we're both doing the thing, and we're very lucky to still be able to do our thing and have people even listen to us talk. So I think it's a wonderful thing what you do, and you know, never doubt that. Like it's you're an amazing human, and nobody can take that from you. All the
Lzzy is
history,
my Lizzie bird. I
you
need my
know.
whenever I need my
Yeah.
Lizzie bird, I'm playing this back because I need to hear that also. And so grateful for those fans too, who kind of opened up that sieve and that new
Yeah.
part kind of came out. And I'm looking so forward to hearing the work that you guys are going to do with Dave Cobb. He's
Oh,
such
it's
an awesome producer. Holy
I
crap.
know he's crazy, and it's so funny because we didn't think he even knew who we were. You know, we're a rock band. I don't know. It's like he's made his, and so we kind of cold called him and like, oh, just let's just ask him.
Oh,
We can
he
we can
knows.
handle rejection. Listen, and we like called him up, and he's got this whole. He's like, I've been wanting to do a record with you for years, and I have this whole plan. I'm like, all right, sweet, let's get together. So it's gonna
That's
be
going
fun.
to be awesome. Lizzie, thank you
Yeah.
so much for the time. Cannot wait to see you here in Jersey, Friday, July 26th at the PNC Bank Arts Center, along with
Woo.
I Prevail and Hollywood Undead and Fit for a King, WDHA's Rock the Park 2024. I
Yes.
love you. I am so
Love you
grateful for
too.
you, and I just can't wait to see you in person.
Oh, likewise, honey. And thanks for taking the time for me always.
Thank you for taking the time with me.